Boom. What is going on, everybody? Whoa, a little burp there. What the hell is that? What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're looking at a really cool one, I think. I'm bringing out my inner high school emo kid for this one, just because just the name of this beer brings back memories. Because it's how relatable to the band they're referencing in this one. But today, we got one from Sig Brewing Company, and it's a tart ale, but it's a little bit different. It's a caramel apple tart ale called My Carmapple Romance. I just loved the name of this one. That's when I saw it on some more. I had to pick it up. From what I know, it's just a regular, it's not like a fruited sour or anything like that. It's just a sour ale, but they're trying to recreate like a caramel apple on this one. So maybe, I don't know, with it. And from what I saw from the pictures, this beer is green, by the way. Just letting you guys know. So I'm wondering if they used like green Jolly Ranchers to add that kind of appley candy kind of in there. But I'm hoping to get like a tart candied apple along with some nice caramel notes in there. And yeah, it's pretty much self-explanatory to that point. But I'm excited. It comes out at a 6% ABV, which, yeah, that's a low sessionable kind of realm for a tart ale, if I say so myself. And Sig Brewing Company is out of Tacoma, Washington. And I've talked about their stuff a little bit before. I think I reviewed at least one of their brewers before, to where they have outrageous kind of little profiles they do, but what really kind of directs me to their website a lot is just looking at the food that they post up on their website, because the food there looks outstanding. So if you're ever able to go over to Sig Brewing Company, I would just go over there just to try the food, because the food looks fantastic, and there's crazy, like, a bunch of different combinations between like like brick oven pizza. They have crazy looking nachos. They have like, you can get fresh seafood there too. So it's a really, really cool location over there. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what I really want to try this, because my inner emo kid is screaming right now. So let's crack this guy open. Let's see what we get on the smell. Yep, right off the bat, kind of like a tart apple. A little bit, not really much. I don't know if it's going to be, doesn't really seem like that kind of Jolly Rancher candied apple. Maybe it's because that caramel note in there is kind of mixing in there with pretty well. But yeah, it just smells really refreshing, very appley. Can get the tartness right off the bat from the smell. But without further ado, let's pour this guy. Gonna be drinking out of my Black Horizon Brewing Company glass this afternoon. Let's see how this guy pours. Yep, look at that. Look at that green. Holy crap. Not much of a head to it. Very crisp, very clean. But, yeah. Look at that. Kind of looks like I'm drinking sewage. But I kind of like the color of that, to be honest. Yep, still getting a lot of those, like... Okay, now that I pour it into a glass, I'm actually getting more of that, like, candied, like, green Jolly Rancher kind of apple flavor. Yeah, it smells pretty delicious. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So, cheers, everybody. Okay. So, this one is very, very interesting. Okay. Like, the green apple isn't as forward as I thought it would be. But what's crazy about this one, it looks like it's unfiltered a little bit, but I can see through it on my end a little bit through it. And for having it look so clear and having it look so like bubbly and effervescent, it's actually a lot creamier than I thought it would be, which I think that caramel is kind of putting into that factor of it. It's definitely still has that bubbly kind of mouthfeel, but then there's like a creaminess from the caramel that they use in there. To me, it's like those hard caramel candies that you have in there. That's the kind of caramel flavor I'm getting out of this one. But the green apple note, the candied green apple note, is really nice. Not too tart. Yeah, that's actually working really well. Wow. I wasn't sure how this one was going to work, but holy crap. Okay. That is very, very unique. I'm liking this one, because like on the finish, on your like the mouthfeel, everything like that, and the flavors that linger at the end is like a nice, strong, like sweet caramel that sits there. So you have everything you're looking for. You have the tart from the apple, you got the sweetness from the caramel, maybe that more candied aspect of things. And yeah, they nailed it to a T with trying to recreate like a caramel apple kind of flavor with this one. It's a little bit different because the apple in there is like that Jolly Rancher apple, but having that caramel rounded out just makes you think of a caramel apple in your head, like they used a green apple underneath though, which is really cool. Because I know when it comes to like a caramel apple, they usually use like red apples and all that stuff for depending on where you are and where it's made. So with the description of this guy, I think the description on this beer is pretty cool. So their caramel apple tart ale is spreading the love throughout SIG. We teamed up with the entire staff to create a sweet tart treat for our in-house resident emo kids. For some reason, almost our entire staff grew up loving My Chemical Romance. Let's hope that tour finally makes it here. So yeah, if you didn't know, My Chemical Romance is doing like a final kind of tour going around. So I think that was delayed due to COVID and all that kind of stuff. So what else to say? So this has kind of had to be done. Think caramel, green apple, and candy. Drinking your favorite candy pop in beer form. Okay. So yeah, definitely getting a lot of those like more candied apple flavors in there, but that caramel that sits at the end is probably my favorite aspect of this one. Yeah, it kind of does look like stagnant water, but the flavors are pretty damn delicious. It's not watered down. It's not there's no like muted flavors at all on this one. You definitely get the green apple in this, and that caramel at the end, it throws you through a damn loop. Because with this kind of style of beer, you wouldn't expect such a creamy caramel to come through at the end, but they did an absolute fantastic job being able to do it. Yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of this. So I looked at like around the can, see if they hid any other stuff in regards to My Chemical Romance on the can, just because I wanted to see. But I only found one. You got the kind of the My Chemical Romance font on the can art. But then I looked on here on the bottom, right on the bottom of the can. Let's see if you can read it. But it's a little bit shiny, but actually says Black Parade on the bottom. Which, if you know Black Parades, I think it was the name of one of their albums, if I remember correctly. Haven't listened to them in a minute. But yeah, I really like the can art. It's a really big homage to My Chemical Romance, which I was a really big fan of growing up in high school during my emo days. But yeah. Let's start, before we get into actually breaking down what my thoughts are on the can art and my thoughts of the beer, let's look at what Untappd has to say about this one. So, like I said before, it's a 6% ABV, and there really wasn't a lot of ratings on this one because I think it was a very limited release they did with this, because it only has 188 ratings. But with all of those 188 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.94 out of 5, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So let's see. Somebody gave us 3.75. Somebody gave it a 4. Let's see. Another 3.75. This guy gave it a 4.25. Purchase off Tavor. Let's see. We got another 4. Another 3.75. 4.25 saying tastes like candy, which I can definitely agree. Let's see. A 4.25 saying sour apple start, caramel finish, amazing combination. Also 8:30 p.m. in Tokyo is 6:30 here. So time for an early morning drink with somebody. So I guess he may be hanging out with somebody in Tokyo that, hey, if it's 6:30 where he is and it's 8:30, that means like the whole saying of it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So he's having an early morning brew, which I'm not against. Let's see. We got another 4 out of 5 purchased off Tavor. This guy gave it a 2.75. Probably wasn't a fan. Yeah, so really, this guy gave it a 3.5 saying no caramel. I don't know where he's getting that, because the caramel like hits you in the face right at the end. It's not like a subtle caramel flavor. It's like a slap in the face caramel, which I'm a really big fan of. Like, you don't expect something that looks like this and has the color that it does to hit you in the face with caramel flavors at the end, but it does. That's where I'm giving them the most props of how, like, I understand that getting the tart green apple in there would probably be the easiest thing to do, but getting that caramel in there to kind of mix in so well that it did, leaving that like lingering sweetness at the end, that's honing your craft to be able to do something really, really good. So yeah, I'm a really big fan that they did that. So let's start getting down to what my final ratings on this one is going to be. So can art. Yeah, I absolutely love the can art to this one. I love their homage to My Chemical Romance on there. I love the little bits of like little secret things they put on the bottom when it comes to like the Black Parade on the bottom. It's like a little Easter egg kind of situation. But yeah, they used a good amount of real estate from like the background of the green. I really like the green color of the can art, and plus you have like the little kind of green caramel apples in the background along with that first one on the top. Sig Brewing Company, always at the bottom. That's their token kind of namesake for their label. But yeah, can art is really, really cool. So I'd probably give it a solid like 4.5 out of 5 for can art. Would have liked to maybe see a little bit more Easter eggs come up, like referencing My Chemical Romance, just because if it's a brew that's an homage to My Chemical Romance, you should have put a little bit more on there to kind of show an homage. But I understand what they did. So, yeah, easy 4.5 out of 5 for can art for me. But let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at Sig Brewing Company, would I get another one? To be honest, absolutely, man. I'm a really, really big fan of this. The color, to me, most people would think the color is off-putting, but I have no problem with it. I think it's really cool to kind of be drinking a green beer, even though it's not like St. Patrick's Day to where they just put green food coloring in just your regular Miller Lite bull crap, you know. So if I was drinking a beer on St. Patrick's Day to kind of represent green, I'd probably try to lean towards more this one instead of just like your normal, just crappy mainstream beers that are just filled with green food coloring. Because this one actually has good flavors in it and has that same green color to it. But let's see what my final rating on this one going to be. So, I think I'm going to probably give this one a pretty high rating. I think I'm going to give this a solid like 8.25 out of 10. I'm a really big fan of this one. If you like tart green apple when it comes to flavors in your beer, this would definitely one I'd recommend. And if you like really nice kind of creamy caramel kind of on the finish on like a tart sour ale, that would kind of just give you a whole new perspective on what a tart ale kind of tastes like. This would definitely be one that I would suggest as well. If you're a tart ale fan or a sour ale fan, I think you would enjoy this, even though the color is kind of off-putting or you may have not liked My Chemical Romance. I think you would really enjoy this brew if you tried it. Really, really good. I still can't get over that creamy caramel at the end. That's spooky how they did it so good. So yeah, solid 8.25 out of 10 for me. Really would recommend it. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing another release to this. I'm guessing since the tour got kind of pushed back due to COVID and all that stuff, I would not be surprised when the tour starts coming back around again for their final tour if they do another release of this beer or maybe another rendition of this beer. So keep an eye out if you're in the Tacoma area or if you're a fan of Sig Brewing Company. Keep an eye out on their social media stuff. You may see something pop back up to where they release this one again. But if you're able to get your hands on it, and if you like a nice tart ale, this would definitely be one I would recommend for sure. But other than that, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to let you know whenever I go live doing another review. And if you want to see more of a social media aspect of beer drinking, you can see people like me, Kentucky, Ian, Duchess, Derek Rhodes sometimes. A bunch of us are over on Untapped. It's a really, really cool social media platform where you check in beers, get badges, all that kind of stuff. Just talk to other beer drinkers, and it's really, really fun. So get yourself on that. The link to my profile is down in the description below. Shoot me a friend request. I want to see what more people are drinking. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. I know I'm probably going to have a review tomorrow. I was able to schedule things out to where I'll be able to get one out there for you guys. But remember, I got one tomorrow and I got one Tuesday. Then I'm going to be out of town for a week and a half. So you won't be seeing any reviews coming up on the channel for like a week and a half. So just reminding you guys that as well. But we're done here. So thank you everybody again for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to say it like I always say, then we're going to get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Cheers.